I'll probably be issuing quite a few apologies to Apostate Alex in the next couple of days because I swear to God, I tried to download this thing like 5 times, but I literally have to go to work soon. So I could only listen to the early part of his video reacting to the Tom Cruise announcement. I think Apostate Alex is being distortive on several levels, but for the most part, I do approve of what he does in terms of activism, getting protests out. I think he did a pretty good protest in France last year. I don't think I covered that too much. I'll try to do a video or two to make up for that. But I've not had the best experience or exchanges with Alex, and there's no nice way to put it. He's not always been the most honest commentator. It is what it is, but I just have to be honest with my feelings at this point. Like the vast majority of these ex-Scientology people, I'm finding more and more just really intolerable and annoying. It just seems like, hey, listen, we all put on personas. You have a persona, I have a persona, but with some of these ex-Scientologists, it's like you're dealing with double, triple, even quadruple personas, and it's just it's a bit exhausting. So I'm just going to react to the early part of the announcement that the BFI, the British Film Industry, is honoring Tom Cruise. I'd like to say at least the early part of the video was good, but it left me head scratching. So on the one hand, Apostate Alex was making quite a few logical mistakes. So he says, "Well, I don't really cover celebrity culture." Well, if you're saying that's not the focus of the channel, well, maybe not. You do definitely cover celebrities. In fact, he covered one just recently, and I thought that was a good video. So I don't know what he's talking about. I guess let's put at least some of the cards on the table. I think he's kind of throwing shade at Aaron Smith-Levin. And there is a whole big drama between Aaron and Apostate Alex that is a whole big other kettle of fish. And I want to be very clear that Aaron has lied repeatedly about Alex. He's just insulted and slandered him on so many occasions. But Amali, it's a lot. It's a lot. So, Aaron is just going to do what he's going to do. He's going to lie about people. However, he did have a smidgen of truth. Because, again, let me just put the cards on the table. For a long, long time, Alex's moderator and supporter, Miss J, has done a series of very stinging videos on Aaron and, well, the nice way of putting it, his crimes. Specifically his crimes against women and some very dark secrets that Aaron has tried to repress and try to silence a lot of people. And Miss J is speaking up for the victims and I think being fairly accurate. She's made a few mistakes here and there, but for the most part, the videos are fairly well done and fairly reliable. And he's just been pressuring year after year to have Alex silence Miss J. And because he doesn't silence Miss J, Aaron refuses to promote Alex's work and the protests he does. Even if they're good protests, even if they're getting good results, he refuses to help him out. Okay, interesting. And I have to be blunt. I see from a pragmatic point of view, I understand Aaron's argument that Apostate Alex doesn't like him and has done various things behind the scenes to attack him. However, you're still stuck, as I am. I'm very critical of what Apostate Alex does. He does many things I don't like and I don't approve of. However, being good faith, at least with some of the public protests, I don't see the big issue. I think the protests were well done. They were well organized. They got the point across. And here and there, I don't think we have much issue or much choice. You should be promoting him, at least in that narrow aspect. But even there, Aaron still refuses to promote Alex's work. And you can say, well, listen, the main issue seems to be your scandals, right? Let's be blunt about it. These are your issues. The fact that Alex is linked to people exposing your scandals is not relevant. They're your scandals. That's your problem. That's for you to deal with. If you really are interested in the cause of anti-Scientology, you should put that aside. Say, well, no, what about me? What about Ironis? What about me? He needs to do propaganda for me. Aaron is just a whiny child all the time. He was just whining just recently about YouTube not giving him charity status. And it's like, you're already making tens of thousands. You say yourself the SPT Foundation has tens of thousands. What more do you want? It's just, yeah, he's a whole big mess. So it's pretty apparent he just does not care about the cause of anti-Scientology. But being critical on both sides, I think Alex is more committed, but he has his own agenda too. So let's get back to the bad logic, because that's part of what I'm criticizing. So now that we got the criticism of Aaron out of the way, well, he made two major errors. One, he's saying that the only person who benefits is Scientologies. And I apologize, I'm just mocking the British accent. I'm not mocking apostate, by the way. I do have a lot of affection for British culture, the whole thing, British history. I'm a big student of Britain, so I do have a lot of respect. But I got to admit, from the American side, their accents I've always found very laughable, even when they're being more serious. It's just a very funny accent to us, just being an American. Um, okay, so he's saying only Scientology benefits. Well, no, he's being honored as a filmmaker and film producer. Clearly, not only Scientologists would benefit. That's just bad logic. That's just flatly not true. So I don't know why he said that, but he said it. He is correct that Tom Cruise is the beneficiary of slave labor. So would the BFI be okay with honoring other slave masters or other slave owners or beneficiaries of slave labor? Probably not. Probably not. And I was actually trying to work through in other videos how to possibly protest this, but apparently the BFI has put out an official statement on this whole thing. So I'm thinking, okay, well, and again, within reason, right, let's be very clear. I am not encouraging, be very clear, not encouraging harassment. But if the BFI, through its website, has a way to contact them, then I think we should be able to, with good faith, just say, I mean, there's no nice way of putting it, obviously, but you have to say, why are you supporting slave labor or some variation? And just ask them directly. And there we are. But now that we've done the criticism, I would have to defend Aaron on one respect. Because, yes, it's true, Alex doesn't do that much work on celebrities, but he does do work on celebrities. And it's sort of weird. He just said, I don't really concentrate on celebrity culture. I concentrate on my Scientology. What are you talking about? Like, this is from L. Ron's Policies himself, or Miscavige. I mean, the whole Tom Cruise thing is a Miscavige thing, but, L. Ron made this very intentional. He put a lot of Scientology buildings in Los Angeles and California for a reason. He wanted to attract actors, athletes, these big celebrities into Scientology as a way of luring other people. So this isn't an accident. So how could you talk about Scientology and avoid talking about celebrities? It don't make no sense. That makes no sense at all as a criticism. Like, 'cause it's like, now I get what he's trying to say, that, yeah, Aaron is notorious for putting out tons of videos on Tom Cruise. And there I am very, well, like a lot of people, I thought I could take Aaron a little seriously there, but he just keeps putting out these very problematic videos on Tom Cruise. Now, some of the Tom Cruise videos are fine. It's verified sources. It's people who could attest to Tom Cruise, because a lot of Scientologists have met Tom Cruise. They met him personally. They met him up close. So that's fine. But he just put out, some of these videos are just based on nothingness. Like, he put out for a long time this video that allegedly, Tom Cruise's niece was punished for kissing a boy. Apparently, his niece, unsupervised or without authorization, kissed a young boy. And Tom Cruise heard about this and said, I will now punish you on behalf of the Scientology. I have seen no evidence whatsoever to verify this statement at all. At all. Now, are there disturbing features that even most people don't know? Yes. Like, it's not just Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise's sister, even his mother, was involved with the cult. His children are in the cult. And what about his wives? That whole story has been well documented, well substantiated. I'll just go through the brief version. But yes, in fact, there's something really weird with even Tom Cruise, which I didn't notice the first time with his official statement. I'll try to do a follow up video, and I'm like, yeah, that's weird. You didn't mention that. That's very strange. But anyway, he's had no less than 3 wives, all of them connected to Scientology. I know people have this image of Nicole Kidman that somehow she resisted Scientology. That is not true. That is not true. That is actually a big myth that she is, quote, anti-Scientology. That is not the whole truth. So he's had all these wives who have either been friendly with Scientology or been in Scientology and so on and so forth. So yeah, he is very deep into the cult. That said, his niece or nephews, I'm like, I don't think we have any good data there at all, either one way or the other. But Aaron just put it out there that uh, Tom Cruise's niece has been under, no nice way of putting it, like psychological torture by him for years and years for kissing that kid and doing it without authorization, probably breaking some Sea Org policy or whatever. He's also put out things that are just flatly not true. That, oh, Tom Cruise and Sherry Cruise, Mr. Tom Cruise hasn't had no contact with Sherry because it's depressive, and, oh, I'm Aaron, I'm saving children. That is actually not true. That's not even true because Tom Cruise had to affirm this in court documents. So he's even getting the basics wrong. So, yeah, it's just a mess. Listen, Tom Cruise and the whole, it is a mess. I think Alex's basic just is correct that there's something disturbing about BFI doing this, but he is a big actor and producer. I'm not seeing anything totally mysterious about why this is being. It's like, oh, I really don't cover celebrity culture. I cover Scientology. What are you talking about? I mean, I understand what you're trying to say, that the way Aaron does it is very disturbing and very stupid. But talking about celebrities in Scientology per se is not illegitimate, right? I mean, it's a bit of a paradox. It is a bit of a trap, right? If you talk about it, that does sort of play into a narrative that this is all silly nonsense. Who the hell cares what these celebrities do with their goofy meetings and their Sea Orgs or whatever? There is a very real disturbing side of Scientology. So yes, all the celebrities make it seem like it's a bunch of fluffy, idiotic nonsense. Oh, it's all these Hollywood people. They show up at these weirdo meetings and touch each other's and whatever. And who the hell cares? But no, there's much more disturbing things going on. But yes, there's a problem of covering celebrities too much. It will play into a certain narrative, and there we are. And Aaron has done a lot to make it even seem more stupid and clownish, but there is a legitimate area of concern. But I will listen in good faith to the rest of what Apostate Alex said, but him starting off with some major logical fallacies was not promising.